Hello, and thank you for stopping by to yet another edition of the Massachusetts Beer Reviews program here on YouTube. My name is Thomas Metal75, and this is your Massachusetts Beer Reviews. And today's sample is courtesy of Jordan from the Keep It Funky and Dank Beer Reviews channel of YouTube. Link in the description below to go and check out our main man Jordan's channel. Thank you very much for the sample bottle of this beer. We were 2 weeks ago at the beginning of September 2025 up in Albany, in Albany, New York, with Jordan, Keep It Funky and Dank Beer Reviews, FLX Beer Reviews, Mike and Dan. We saw the Beer Patrol, Tanner from the East Coast LQ Reviews, and a Bumpy Isms. But this beer came courtesy at the end of the trip when we were divvying up beers to take home. I got this one from Jordan. So thank you very much, Jordan. Keep It Funky and Dank Beer Reviews. This is called Spontaneous Apricot from 2023. This is from Plan B Farm Brewery in Poughkeepsie, New York. It is brewed and bottled by them at Plan B Farm Brewery in Poughkeepsie, New York. And they say on the side of the bottle, it's an ale with apricot, local malt and unmalted grains, turbid, mashed, and long boiled with barn-aged New York hops, cooled overnight in our cool ship, spontaneously fermented on apricots from mead orchards in Tivoli, New York, aged in oak. This is a 375 milliliter bottle, 12.7 fluid ounces. And again, it is from 2023. It's a fruited sour, I believe, according to Untapped. The grains, just check out this information. It tells you that the grains are from Bermantown, New York. I think I'm saying that correctly. The aged hops are from Walcott, New York. The fruit is from Tivoli, New York. And the microflora is from Poughkeepsie, New York. 6.5 ABV. It does have wax around the top of the bottle, but there is a bottle cap outside of that, luckily, so I do not have to struggle opening the wax. I don't know if that was Jordan, Keep It Funky and Dank, or if that was Plan B, but whoever made this easier to open with wax, thank you for that. Uh-oh. We may need to cut. Yeah, let's cut, come back, and this will be open. And we are back. I had to remove the wax because actually, even on the bottle cap, which I thought was exposed, they waxed right over that bottle cap at Plan B. I don't like wax because it's a pain in the ass. But I think we can pry the cap off now. Let's see. I think. Well, I said I think. And finally, with all of its waxy glory, Plan B. Let's get it in the glass, shall we? All right, let's get a smell test for the Plan B Spontaneous Apricot of 2023. And this is a very dark, murky looking beer. It's got that apricot, but even a little bit darker orange color to it. I don't see any I assume there's going to be sediment in this beer, but it's just cloudy right now. Fizzed out like a carbonated water or a very fizzy soda. Let's get a nose. Wow. It smells very Belgian in its yeast strain. It smells super tart, super fruity. There's a white wine or like a grape mustiness to it. I'm getting white bready notes. I'm getting a little bit of a candied sugar notes. Just a little bit. Funky, funky, funky. Even a slight sweet tart on that. But overall, it does have a clean smell underneath it. I'm not getting a super amount of minerality or like a well-watery note. It smells pretty clean beyond that funky yeast strain. So let's give it a taste finally. The Spontaneous Apricot from Plan B Farm Brewery 2023. Cheers. Thank you. Keep it dank and funky beer reviews. Jordan. Wow. Super tart. Super dry for what it is. Super mouth puckering. This is a sour beer, right? Very, very, very funky. There is a sweet tart, almost like note to that. Before it dries, I do get that white wine, kind of a grape musty note to it. I do get the barnyard, the horse blanket element is completely in there in that beer. There is a peppery spice to the palate, indeed. Almost like a white pepper. Definitely a lot of the apricot and a citrusy style of a note is coming out in this particular beer. It's very Saison like in its element, or if you've ever had beers from Trillium or Equilibrium, or I don't know if Treehouse does anywhere, where they call them wild ales. This is totally of that wild, funky, musty yeast strain of a beer. So you have to like that kind of thing initially. Just a Saison flavor just taken to another level with that funky yeast strain, that wild yeast strain. There is a sweet tart kind of a flavor in the beginning before it dries. And there's still a little bit of it, like maybe a slight kind of a chalkiness in the finishing flavors and in the mouthfeel in general. I would say it's a medium-bodied beer. It's very crisp. Semi-dry? I wouldn't say it's dry or super clean, no, but maybe semi-dry. And it's very refreshing at 6.5%. This will be a good beer for the sour or wild ale or funky, on the funky side of Saison tart kind of a beer drinker. That would be for you guys. Almost in that fall time, this would be really good, like we're getting into now. But this would be really good in the summer when it's super hot. It's a little funky for my profile. I don't know if I could just quaff this down if I was in a big thirst, maybe, but this wouldn't be the beer I'd reach for when I'm super thirsty. I would rather have less of a funky yeast strain kind of a Saison for a Belgian beer for that purpose. Now I'm getting even more funky souring notes towards the end of the glass. It's really on the sides of the cheeks and the side of the tongue. It is mouth puckering at this point. And yeah, I'm getting left with the apricot, citrusy notes / a sweet tart kind of a note. again, I kind of went into the beer knowing this wasn't going to be necessarily my jam or my cup of tea, but it's really well done for a spontaneous kind of a wild ale. So for that reasoning alone, it's going to have to get a 90 just based on how it's drinking, how it's performing. I would definitely say if you really like your wild fermentation beers, there's no reasoning to not look for or to try to trade for Plan B Farm Brewery out of Poughkeepsie, New York. They know what they're doing, definitely with that style. And again, this is a 2023 beer, so did not go on their website, and I do not know. I would assume they still put out more of this spontaneous line of the beers, so definitely look for some newer ones, or again, like I said, go and try to trade and acquire the beer. I don't know how far they get distribution on, or if they're online. I think I did a little quick search, see if I get any additional information, and I did notice quickly it's on Halftime Beverage. I believe the Plan B is BEE. So go look it up. I'm getting a 90 out of 100 for the Spontaneous Apricot 2023 Plan B Brewery. If you've had this beer, any beers from Plan B Farm Brewery, or if you love these wild ale program style of beers, let us know about that experience in the comments below. Thank you very much for the beer, Jordan. This has been quite an interesting experience. And until next time, keep tasting those great beers. Cheers. We'll see you soon.